Yeah, what's cracking, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Prison Break Raw. I'm your host, the one and only Big JD. Read a comment from one of my subscribers regarding my content and how he shows it to the young men that he is reaching out to try to help. So I thought I would assist him with this one right here. Speaking directly to all these young men and women out there, I want to give you some hope and also some advice about moving forward in this thing called life. Now, one of the things that I have accomplished for myself was luck. I accomplished having some luck. Despite the circumstances that I had put myself into, everything that I had done to basically tear down my life, what you see before you today is a result of that. So a lot of people would say, well, you're doing pretty good. You got a roof over your head. You got a bunch of money in the bank. You got a car outside. You're free. You're alive. You can hear, you can see, you can walk, all these things. But that was from a lot of luck and hard work. Most people that are in my same situation or who have been where I've been don't have it so well, and probably will never have it this well. Yes, you have a lot of people that have gotten out of prison that maybe they met a pen pal, significant other who becomes their wife, their husband, and they're blessed to have that person already established in the world to help and assist them and guide them in the right direction. Give them a foundation upon which they can start. You also have some people out here that talk about how easy it is to get somewhere. Look at all the success that I got. Go dig in a little bit of their background. They never had to struggle. They already had rich family. They had some kind of connection somewhere, and they were able to utilize that in a way and exploit it to the point to where they had created opportunities for themselves much easier than the next guy down the road. I can tell you this. The bushes all around my property are full of people that have been in and out of prison. They burned all their bridges. They've got nowhere to go. They can't get a job. They can't get off of drugs. They can't get out of their heads. They allow the psychological issues they got, the drug abuse they have, and their past basically become their self-fulfilling prophecy for why they can't make it. I myself not only have PTSD, but I'm a recovering addict as well. Not only from substances, but from a criminal lifestyle. It's an addiction. I spent pretty much my entire adult life going in and out of the prison system. I've contributed nothing to society, nothing positive. As a matter of fact, the last 3 years, I paid more taxes and put more into my own Social Security than I ever have in my entire life before that. We're sold this idea that to be a gangster, to be a person in the streets, to gang bang, to flash all this money, to sell dope, to live that life is where it's at. It's all over the TV. As a matter of fact, if you read the story of Bonnie and Clyde, Clyde Barrow, that's what drove him into robbing banks and shit, was he watched some old gangster movies at the theater. The penny theater it was. He played a penny, went in there, came out a gangster. Ain't nothing changed. It's the same shit. In the Wild Wild West, kids would see these outlaws come into town. taking whatever they want to do whatever they want, and they strove to become that, and a lot of them became that. We are influenced by external stressors, by people around us. Influence our lives, for good or for bad. I had all the bad influences pushing me in the direction that I went. I chose ultimately to go down that road, but my role models and my peers didn't help. So maybe I can pay it forward a little bit and try to fix some of the damage that I've created by giving you this right here. And let me tell you what it's all about. So I'm 46 years old. Yes, I have a roof over my house. I live in a 3-bedroom house. I got a car. I got a bunch of money in the bank. Credit score is good. But nobody gave me anything that I got. I had to sweat blood and tears to get everything that I have right now. Fresh out of the federal prison system. Shower shoes. Size fucking 8X sweatpants because they had no other pair of pants that would fit at the time. A t-shirt, 38 bucks. Going to the halfway house. Beating up the pavement in thongs. Shower shoes in the winter in Oklahoma. A city and state I've never lived in. Didn't even know it existed. To go down to the Goodwill Center to apply for a job. Every single day I did that. Twice a day sometimes. I finally got a job as a dishwasher in a hotel. I busted my ass. I went without. I sacrificed. I saved. And I was able to get my own apartment. Most people over there couldn't even do that. Most of them were just sitting around waiting for their date to pop up so that they can go and live at their mother's house. Or to be with that woman they met off Plenty of Fish, or the pen pal they got from the homie down the tier. Or to crash on their grandma's couch, or whatever it is. Many of the men and women in there had nowhere to go, wondering what they were going to do. Some of them had to go to the homeless shelter. Some of them are in the bushes right now. As a matter of fact, the other day I'm at the 7-Eleven and there's a guy that was at the halfway house with me asking me for change. Said, "Hey, you're JD. Remember I was in the halfway house with you." Not doing so good. So what's the difference between me and those people? The difference is I have hustle and I believed in myself. They didn't. They were quitting and giving up when they were there. "Oh, I'm not going to take that job. It's only $8 an hour. I'm the this and this and that." Well, you ain't going to make it then. What other options do you have? Sell dope, get high, live in the streets? That's what they're going to do. The things that I've accomplished for myself comes with a high price. I am completely and totally exhausted. My body is beaten all the way down. I have aches and pains in places that I never thought I could have aches and pains. Over the last 3 days, I've already worked almost 40 hours. I am working my body into the ground. I got 2 more days to work. Today, in just a few minutes, I got to leave. And tomorrow. I often wonder, what is it going to take to get me through the next day? Sometimes I wake up, I sit here for about an hour and a half, just trying to recollect my thoughts. I have to do this in order to keep all these things that I have. If I stop, I'm out there begging for change. But I won't beg for change. I'll get my rob on. I'll steal some shit. I will go hard as fuck until I get what I feel I need to get in order to get to where I want to get to. So I published 3 books. I run this YouTube channel. But The main block of my income comes from the job that I'm breaking my back at. Ripping the frame off my whole physical state, emotional and psychological state. I am fucking worked to the bone. How much longer can I put up with this? Most of the people that I work with are in their 20s. If I was in my 20s, I could do that shit for years. But going into that kind of work that I'm in right now, in my 40s, man, it's a motherfucker, I gotta tell you. And I'm not bitching. I'm grateful for what I got. I've chosen also to remain single, of which I really don't have to, despite what anybody may say. I could be with anybody I wanted to be if I went out there and worked to get it. But I don't have time to give a significant other, my partner, the kind of attention that she would deserve and that she needs. Because if I'm not doing this, if I'm not selling books, I'm busting my ass in that warehouse. So it wouldn't be fair. And I'm not selfish. So I have short-term goals that I'm setting for myself. Sooner or later, that will come. The right one will come along. Just like I haven't rushed the process that's going on right now, I'm not going to rush that. Let's go jump in bed with the first thing I find just for the sake of having somebody, only to have a bunch of drama and headaches from here on out. Ain't gonna do it. Breaking my back, busting my ass. I don't have time to do a lot of things. To deal with family issues, to go out and have fun, to do all that. Don't have a lot of time for that. All of this is unnecessary for you as a young man or a young woman. It's unnecessary because you could look at me as an example for what not to do. I could have did anything in my life. I've got a pretty high IQ. I've been tested for this. I could have done anything in my life, but I chose to do what I did. The message I have for you is you don't have to be a 46-year-old man breaking his back for 12 to 15 hours in some warehouse somewhere because you made a lot of poor choices in your life. You don't have to live in an environment surrounded by people that live in the bushes. You don't have to wait in order to get into a relationship with somebody because your life ain't where it is right now, where you want it to be. You don't have to wonder if the cops are going to kick open your door over a mistaken identity. You have a criminal record. It's not what it is. It's what it looks like. You don't have to worry about losing it all by one bad decision. You don't have to worry about if you ever go for a promotion somewhere, you're not going to get that job because of your background. You have a choice right now in your young life. If the only advice that I can give you, and it's the only thing that you listen to and hear from what I'm saying to you, is this: believe in yourself. Don't think that the world owes you anything, and don't think that you have anything that limits your ability to achieve success. I'm in my 40s, a criminal, bank robber, all that shit. But because I believe that none of those things define who I am, I'm going to make it in this world. Yes, I'm in pain. Yes, I hurt. Yes, it could have been a lot easier if I would have chosen to stay in school, make something of myself when I was your age, but I chose not to. But you don't have to be this. You don't have to go through this pain. You can make the decision right now to be successful and to be better than you are. I see a lot of things that piss a lot of people off here on YouTube. I'm a sarcastic, arrogant YouTube personality. content creator. But in reality, I give a shit. I care about all of you. I don't judge people for whatever it is that they identify themselves as, or whatever leanings they have, or anything. I will extend my hand out to each and every one of you and help you. I don't care who you are or where you come from. I may say a lot of things to piss you off. I may stir up a whole bunch of controversy. I may call bullshit on one of your idols or role models. But it doesn't change the fact that I have worked my ass off, sweat, blood, and tears to get to this point. With a little bit of effort, you would have gotten here. It took me a great deal of effort to get here because, quite frankly, I'm not a young man anymore. You could say whatever you want about me, but the one thing that you cannot take away is the fact that I got hustle and the fact that I am successful every single day because I choose to be. The minute you look in the mirror and decide to be the same way, to have the same mindset, is the day you will become a god among men. And until you do that, you may never achieve anything. Yeah, you may have connections, you may have family with money, you may have all those things. If you do, take full advantage of that. But don't let that be your foundation. Create your own. We may be heading into some very, very dark times. You may not have anything to rely upon. If you don't have your own, you may not have nothing. Don't think you got plenty of time, because you don't. You have to start acting right here and right now. You don't need to break your back in your 40s. You don't need to do any of that. But what you need to do is you need to believe in yourself and believe that there is nothing. I don't care what color you are. I don't care what religion, what sexual orientation, any of that shit. None of that matters. The only thing that matters is what you tell yourself. My back, my knees, everything is in agonizing pain right now. But guess what? I'm going to get off my ass here in a few minutes. I'm going to upload this to YouTube, and I'm going to bounce. That's the kind of hustle I'm trying to tell you what to have. Cultivate that shit. Keep moving forward. Don't do it like I did. Don't learn the hard way. There is an easier way. You already know what it is. You heard it right here. Prison Break Raw, uncut, uncensored, no holds barred, not sugarcoat, not politically correct, all up in your face, slapping you with that dick of reality. And I'm out.